Hey there, comic book fans. I'm John Anderson, and I just watched the season premiere of Legends of Tomorrow, and it was pretty good. Definitely a lot of potential for the rest of the season. Now, keep in mind, I'm going to be going through key plot points from the episode, so if you haven't seen it yet, here is your spoiler warning. And there it goes. So the episode opens on the year 2165, and we see Vandal Savage laying waste to the city. And it reminds me a lot of the apocalyptic opening to X-Men Days of Future Past. And we really get to see how vicious Vandal Savage is. He literally kills a mother in front of her son and then kills the son. Next, we're treated to a scene where we meet Rip Hunter, who's pitching this idea of assembling a team to travel through time to defeat Vandal Savage. Now, this council of time travelers denies him this, but he goes rogue and kind of assembles the team himself. Next, we have a series of scenes where Rip is rounding up all the members individually. Then he presents the idea to the team as a whole. Then we have another string of scenes where each person kind of finds their motivation to why they want to join the team. And for somebody who's a fan of Flash and Arrow, I was kind of bored with these scenes because it was filled with a lot of exposition, and it was treading a lot of words that I've seen already. Now, I understand it's a new show, and you have to lay the groundwork for people that have never watched Flash or Arrow, but I think it could have been done in a less forced way. But once the groundwork is laid, the show really turns around. It starts to be really fun because you have interactions with these characters and you can learn different fun facts about them. So Rip takes the team to 1975 to meet up with the scientist from the Flash and Arrow crossover, who has a lot of information on Vandal Savage, who we discover is actually the son of Hawkgirl and Hawkman in like a past life. Then we see Captain Cold putting the moves on White Canary, asking her to get a drink with him and Heatwave. And that leads to probably my favorite scene in the episode where they get into the bar fight. That was a lot of fun to see. Then we see this bounty hunter gets introduced, Kronos. He's attacking the ship that Jax is on by himself because everybody else is doing other things. And then we see the team kind of fighting together for once, and we got another big action set piece, which was really fun. But once the dust settles on that, Rip kind of confesses to the team that he has a vendetta against Vandal Savage because the mother and son from the beginning of the episode was actually his family. So he gives everybody kind of the choice, like, hey, either we pursue this or we go back to the way things were. Now we have another string of scenes where the people kind of find their motivations for staying on the team. But why this works better at the end of the episode than in the beginning is you can have a scene with 4 people discussing it or 2 people, and it really solidifies like a purpose for each different character. Like for the Atom, he feels both figuratively and literally small and wants to be part of something big. White Canary kind of abandoned her family, is a little lost with all her bloodlust, and they didn't really talk about it in this episode, but I really hope she still has that because that's a lot of conflict that I like to see. You have Captain Cold and Heatwave that want to take advantage of all the time traveling and start mischief, which will create conflict because they're clearly not in it for the hero aspect of it. But I think Snark is going to kind of lean more towards the hero side, and maybe even Heatwave has a turn and a change of heart. We don't know, but it's definitely interesting to see. We see that Jax wants to be there because he wants to be part of a team, and Dr. Stein loves this sense of adventure, and him being so old doesn't know how much time he has left. And finally, you have Hawkgirl and Hawkman, who clearly have a vendetta against Vandal Savage because he's been killing them for generations and they've been continually reincarnating and starting over, and it's the secret to his immortality. So obviously they're in. And then the whole team goes off till next episode. Now, those are my thoughts on this episode. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys thought. Now, I'm supposed to be going to Heroes and Villains Fan Fest this weekend. I don't know if you guys are aware, but there's a potential blizzard happening this weekend, so I may not be able to go. But if I make it out there, I will give you guys some insight to what I saw at the panels. And also for those that don't know, FanFest is basically a bunch of panels on Flash, Arrow, Gotham, all the DC TV shows. So I'm very excited for that. Hopefully I'll make it out there. If I'm trapped in my dorm for that time, I'll work on a weekly comic book fix episode where I'll go through the different news that broke this week in a little detail, and I'll get that out to you guys. So, as always, remember, comics do deserve a second look.